So today we're having yes to inverts upside down class. Uh, Probably for this is the last beginner package class, and it's going to be probably the hardest one because we're going to do lots of invert stuff. We will start with invert technique, how to do beautiful invert on static pole and on spin pole. What are the first steps you need to start to accomplish when you start to do inverts and things like that that help me and my students to achieve beautiful invert execution. And afterwards, of course, we will go through combinations. Some of the combinations will feel intermediate, but I will break it down for you. You can always do part of the combination first, then add the other stuff. You will see how I will work today. And I'm sure all the levels who apply to this class will be able to take something of this class, work hard on it. So hopefully you will enjoy this class. And we're going to warm up not very much today because I usually go overtime. I almost always go overtime. Sometimes class is 2 hours long because I get carried away with details and explaining stuff. And I'm always getting very nervous with not going through all the things I wrote down that I want you to give. That's why today the warm-up will be just for your inverts, the exercises that I give my students to execute their invert technique in a cleaner way, so it will look easier and beautiful. So you can turn on your own music if you like. If not, you can just listen to my voice, okay, and enjoy. It's a little bit cold in the studio. That's why I'm wearing pants right now in the warm up. So if you're feeling a bit cold, you can wear pants as well. So we will start with before we're going to start this workout, you need to warm up your shoulders a little bit more, maybe, and stuff like that, because we will start with conditioning exercises right away. So we will start lying on our back. Exhale all the air you have in your tummy. I'm not sure if you can see me very well. Yeah, all the air you have in your tummy. So you can squeeze the tailbone into the floor and leave it there, okay? Do not lift up your lower back from the floor. Keep your upper back to the floor, your shoulders to the floor as well. And when you're lifting up in 90-degree position and keeping those 90 degrees and lowering down and coming up. So it's not a task here to touch the floor. The task here is just to be able to understand how low can you actually go while holding your tailbone into the floor. As you can hear, it's for me, it's hard to talk. Keep breathing because I'm really focusing on pushing my tailbone into the floor. And let's do 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Let's open up and just pulse open. If you're not very warm, okay, don't go crazy over here. Start pulsing slowly and not to hurt yourself, okay? And then you can add a little bit more momentum if it feels like you're getting warmer. Okay, now let's do the controlled straddle exercise for your as well for your legs and for your abs. Lower down as low as you can, straight legs. Keep your tailbone into the floor and up. Exhale. Keep your hands by your side. Tailbone to the floor. Exhale. And 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Keep breathing. 8. And the last one. And again, pulse open. You can help with your hands. Just make sure your knees are straight and your feet are pointed. Great. Now upper back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And now we're lifting up in our hollow body position. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Great. Now let's go into our garland pose. Full feet, back is straight. Full feet onto the floor, back is straight, and help with your elbows, pushing your knees out. Whew, and breathe here, enjoy the stretch. And let's go onto the one toe and onto the other. Usually my warm-ups, if you have been taking my online classes, you know my warm-ups are 20, 25 minutes long, sometimes even 30 minutes long. I like to involve all the exercise that help you to condition your body and get ready for difficult stuffs, like for example inverts or spins. So shoulders are very important here, but unfortunately I will skip shoulders today, not too much for shoulders, just so we have more time on the pole. Open up, and one more. You push the knee out with your hand, open up here before you lift up your hand, look up, and only then you lift up and open up your hand, your shoulder. And if you feel comfortable here and you feel like your knee is not closing in, you can still work with your hip openers and keep this angle here what you just opened. You can try to connect your hands by keeping your knee into the middle. This is a great stretch for your shoulders and for your legs. Doing one, open, and if you can, you connect. If no, no worries, you just stay in the previous position. Great. Now here, back is straight, and it pulls down and through. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Connect your hands. If you can, you connect your palms as well, not only your fingers. And stretch. And shift away from one leg to the other. Help with your hips to feel a nice stretch. Great. Now let's walk to down dog position. Walking through. Squeeze your glutes here, just to make sure your lower back is safe. Now pull together your shoulder blades and push your shoulders away from your ears. We can walk on our toes here and we switch the weight to one side, stretch to the other side. Keep your legs straight, glutes engaged, shoulders away from your ears, neck is long. Great. A little bit with the spine. Round your back, exhale, open up and back. Great. And on your knees, shift weight forward. Tailbone slightly tucked in. Okay, and let's do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stretch a little bit here. Great. So these are the mainly most important exercises today for your inverts. You need to get your hands ready with pulling up. That's why we did push-ups. You need to feel that your lower back and your stomach is stretched. Sides feel stretched. Okay. We will start with easy stuff today, not too difficult. So you still will have a possibility to warm up while we're doing the easy stuff. If you feel super cold and not ready for this workout yet, so I suggest you to warm up a little bit, including your shoulders. Very important, okay? And of course, you can warm up your sides a little bit better, your legs. Now we're going to stretch the side next to the pole a little bit. Yes. Now hold the pole. You're tucking in and you're diagonally pushing the pole and just your shoulders, just your scapula. 1, 2, 3. If you want harder, you just walk a little bit more away. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Walk closer, stretch, tuck and round. Open, stretch, tuck and round. Great. Okay. So we will start with the invert technique as it goes from the very beginning, because we will need that information today very much. And I'm sure all of you know how to do inverts. You have seen somewhere how someone does it, or you have checked already my tutorial for inverts, exercises to invert. First of all, I will go that through very quickly. My ball right now is on spinning mode, but we will need the spinning and static mode for inverts. And for combinations, if you feel terrified of a spinning pole at first, you learn the combination on a static pole. And when you're confident with the gripping points, with the technique, then you turn on your spinning mode and try to do the same with the pole spinning. So you will have variation of this. So if you feel scared, you will just do it on static pole. If no, you can do it right away on your spinning pole, whatever works for you better, okay? So we will start with the simple technique of inverts. First of all, you have to understand that your hands, both hands, have to be bent when you do inverts. So you do not take your hands up high, you take them low as you actually can. The weaker you are, the lower your hands will go, okay? Like this even. Because when the first movement, when we do in inverts, we need to pull up. We need to hold that 90-degree position in our biceps muscle. Your biceps muscle is the strongest when it's a 90-degree position or a little bit less. That's the angle what you need in your biceps to make sure you're actually holding with your biceps muscles, not only falling into your shoulders. Most injuries come for beginners because they're trying to jump into their inverts, and when they get stronger, they don't correct this technique and they still keep jumping in them, and they still keep laying onto their shoulders when actually you need your hands here. You need your biceps here. In this case, it protects your shoulder a lot, and with other parts of your body, of course, as well. So when you're learning inverts, you're taking hands low and you're actually trying to hold yourself in this position. So first of all, you want your butt to be in front of the pole, not behind or at the pole. You don't want to hit your ribs when you're going to invert. You want to engage your core to make it safe and aware. So that's why we put the butt in front of the pole like this. We tuck in. The same exercise we did on the floor, we push our tailbone into the floor. The same we have to do while we're standing. We have to push the tailbone into the pole to feel a little bit more grip, to feel that it's engaged and connected. If you're doing inverts daily with not engaged core, again, all the pressure goes to your shoulders, your lower back is not protected, and things will start to get ugly after a while. Trust me, I have seen this. I know this. A lot of my students have done this for years, although I'm correcting them. And those who haven't been listening to me very carefully, those are ending up with severe, some kind of severe injuries, that shoulders in their back, because they're not engaging what needs to be engaged, and the other muscles cannot hold that weight for that long. So you have, right now, what we need to think about is our biceps. That's why we did push-ups, to warm them up, to get them ready, okay? And core, of course. So we put it in the front of the pole. We take the hand low, like this. So you see that your biceps is squeezing into the pole. It probably looks twice as bigger than it is. So when it looks twice as bigger than it actually is, it means you're doing everything right, okay? Squeeze the biceps into the pole at the same time when you tuck in, engage. Make your abs work here, okay? The other hand goes right above, and you're holding this position, and you're trying to pull yourself up from here, okay? I know the butt will slide away. That doesn't matter unless, it doesn't matter if still your core is engaged. The first movement of engaging is like focus, work with here as well. So you just need to keep that engagement while you're doing this exercise, to make your body understand what needs to be engaged actually when you're doing your inverts, your biceps and your abs. A lot, okay? Switching sides, the same thing. You want to go above your hands. So when your chin goes above your hands and you're able to pull yourself up, even if you're taking hands this low, you need to be able to pull yourself up a little bit. If you are able to do that, you're ready for your inverts. If not, keep working on this exercise. The higher you take your hands, the higher you need to pull yourself up. That's why we're taking hands low, so we don't have to do the extra work. That's the first thing when we're taking our things low, the hands low. And second thing, when you will want to grab the pole, if your hands are high, your leg has to go twice as high to catch, to grip the pole right above your hand, so the knee does not go onto your hand, which is really important. So this first movement is up, not tilt back, but up. So engage, focus, understand, how do I do this? If you're not strong enough, your invert will probably will not look well controlled. And that's quite all right. You can do these inverts, but you have to understand what needs to be done to complete your invert. So you have to work on this. So if it's not already good, okay? So the next thing, after you learn to pull yourself up, you need to learn to tuck and hold. So you're here doing everything what we learned before, pulling up and tuck, going down, pulling up, tuck, going down, switching sides, pulling up, tuck, down, pulling up, tuck, down. As you can see, I'm tucking and opening my knees, because that is what I will need at the moment when I will tilt back. So only when you did these two things with the pulling up and tuck, only then you tilt back. And when you're tilting back, you will see that you're in this kind of position when you're up and your hands extend. Only then you need to let your hands extend. If you're letting yourself slide down because you're not holding with your biceps, it's because the muscle is not strong enough yet, you will end up the pole on your ribs. That is the reason why your pole is on your ribs. That is the reason why you cannot hook the leg, hook the knee right above, and you can just touch the pole with your foot, and then you do 100 times of when you hook the knee. The only reason is your biceps, and that you're not clearly understanding the technique of an invert. Pull, hold, tuck, tilt, straddle. So that is our gradual approach to an invert, which is really important if you want to learn to do your inverts in a beautiful way. So for them to look easy, for them to feel safe, and so you can add the inverts into your combinations. We will add the inverts into combinations today. So I hope you're ready for this. So, and we're switching sides and trying to do the straddle. So we pull up, our chin goes right above our hands. When your chin is above your upper hand, you're doing great. If not, keep working on it, okay? So you're pulling up, tuck, tilt, and straddle. And if you feel like you can actually hold this position, only now you're going into your shoulders. Only now when you're tilting back, your shoulders should start to really work. And the pole is right above your hip bone, not on your ribs. Pull, tuck, tilt, straddle. And after that, the only thing you have left to do is hook the knee. So when you did everything right, boom, pa, boom. It's easy to hook the knee right above my hand because I have a right position at the start. So I went really fast through this one. If you have still some questions about the inverts, I have a tutorial for inverts. So if you're still feeling like, well, I'm not doing this right, or I need some more exercises for this, I have a tutorial with exercises to condition your inverts. I think it's called 5 exercises to your invert or something like this. But I know that tutorial helped some people. And if you're having trouble with it, you can use that tutorial. YouTube is for free, so just go and watch the tutorial and check out if you're doing everything right. So right now, about the invert thing, how do we do a beautiful invert on a static pole? This was the technique. Firstly, just a regular kind of invert. You pull, you tuck, you tilt, okay? Then you hook. If you're trying to hook before you have done all that before, your invert will look like this. Okay, because my hands weren't engaged, my core probably weren't engaged as well. When I started doing this, I was just thinking about the result, not thinking about how actually I could get there in a normal way, in a safe way. Okay. The static invert, what I like to teach my intermediate students, but I will give this technique for you today as well, because if you already know how to do invert and you want to spice them up, in this class, I would actually ask you to think as an invert as a trick, not a way how to get on the pole and go to your actual trick, but invert as itself is a trick. And the way you do it, as I said, it's a gift wrap. The invert is the gift, and the gift wrap is how you're doing it. And when you're receiving a gift without a wrapping paper or a shitty wrapping paper, you kind of think less of the gift, probably, if it's not a bad joke. But you need to think about your execution. Execution is the most important thing if you want your invert to look like wow. For people who don't know pole dance, they just see that we inverted and they think it's cool. But they don't think it's cool when you're grabbing your pole 100 times until you get up. So the rotational invert is invert that I teach my intermediate students. And I would like to give you that technique as well to work on it because it doesn't come out right away. Okay, it needs some time to work on. The rotational invert has a little bit different kind of in technique, and you will end up probably lower than you're doing the regular invert because the whole point of rotational invert is that you're not pulling yourself up, you're rotating and letting the momentum help you get up. While if you cannot hook the leg higher than your hands, you will just slide your hands lower down. To do that, we need to feel the grip. So we will start with the technique where I usually start. On the floor, we're taking the hands in an inverted grip, right? The same way what we would do standing up, okay? We bend the inside leg like this. I'll put this a little bit further away. Okay. And we're going to swing the outside leg, open it up, and boom. And in the same manner, I'm going down. So you start to swing with your knee rotating in. So the hip is kind of doing an internal rotation here. And when you're going here, it starts to rotate externally. So here, everything starts with your hip. Of course, you have to keep your legs straight for the hip to actually work in this case, okay? So you're opening up your hip, and for example, this is the widest position as you can go. You have to be able to hold your leg here, and then you just follow the leg, look at your toe, and come back. Down, boom, come back. Boom, down, come back. Switching sides. You can do a lot more repetitions than I'm doing, okay? I'm just want to indulge you. Just keep switching sides all the time. So take the hands lower, knee is closed, swinging, opening, boom, coming up, going down in the same manner. Swinging, opening, down in the same manner. And as you can see, I kept my inside leg bent all the way through. So if you're doing this and your butt comes off the floor naturally, you're doing everything right. So you should feel that you're kind of pulling yourself up with the help of your leg. So your hands are not doing anything here. And that is the main key in the rotational inverts. You have to do less with your hands, you have to do more with the swing and with the leg. So probably you will feel that your leg is working really hard on this one. To condition your legs, just one more tip. If you feel like it's hard for you to lift up your legs straight and it's difficult, I suggested my students to wear weights on their ankles, small weight, like half a kilo, uh, not heavier, okay? Do not exaggerate in this one. And just do some of the exercises on the floor, for example, lifting legs with those weights, as well as in standing positions, not just sitting positions, but in standing positions. And when you're ready, you can try to condition your invert like we did before in the start of this lesson with the weights on your ankles. Do not exaggerate, okay? If you feel like you're getting tired and your legs hurt or something weird is happening in your hips, put them away. But if you feel good and you feel that it's really helping you, condition the strength in your legs, because we don't need just our splits. We need active stretching. We need strong legs, actual muscle work to lift up your legs and to make them look beautiful, straight and pointed, okay? So that is what may help you as well. I did weights when I started in the first year. I put weights on some of the exercises. I did inverts and shoulder mounts with weights on my ankles just to make my execution cleaner. And it helped me a lot. You don't have to do this in every workout. Once a week, it's quite all right. Just put weights on some of the easier tricks or easier conditioning exercises that you can actually accomplish easily without weights, but you just want them to look cleaner. The weights can really help you to do that. So close, open, boom, back, close, open, boom, back. So the leg does not go here, okay? It goes through the side, drawing a circle around the pole, okay? That's the first thing which you need to understand. You are not going here, you're going there. Next tip what can really help you to progress in your rotational invert is to look at your toes. Look at it all the way through and back. So what it does, it not only helps you to be aware what actually your foot is doing, your leg is doing, but it helps you to kind of lean to the side. And when you're leaning to the side, when you're doing the invert, you're creating a lot more momentum, which actually helps. And while you're leaning to the side, you don't have to just lean with your head. You have to kind of think of a parallel. You're going to a parallel line, more or less, and pull a little bit open more here in your chest. So your chest here is neutral position or closed even. Here it's closed and here it's open. If you're not working with your lower back and your shoulders, your chest just does this small movement. Small movement. And that is what we need. We need to open it up when we're doing inverts with the same leaning on the side. And looking on your toes, on your foot, can actually help for you to do that while remembering what we are aiming to do with this. Okay? So when you're doing this, you're kind of trying to open up. So that means if your hands are too high, you will not be able to do that. Keep your hands low. So you don't have to jump. So you take the hands lower at the very beginning here. Okay, so my chin is already almost above my hands. So you close and you start to open and bend. And when you're sliding down, you should feel the pole goes into your side and into your leg. Okay, I will do this without the pants because when actually your pole is gripping inside your inner thigh, the leg that is bent, it's a lot of grip. So it doesn't feel dangerous. You just have to feel that grip and be aware of it and hold it there. So you're closing, leaning to the side, and here, see, I'm gripping the pole and my hands get straighter and straighter. That's all right. You don't have to pull up. And to actually hook the pole, when you feel that grip into your side and into your inside leg, which has to keep it bent, okay? You're drawing the circle with your outside leg. The inside leg is bent. You feel the grip in your side and into your leg. And when you feel that grip, you can actually slide the arms down to hook the leg above. Yes, your invert will be lower, a lot lower than that, but we have to start somewhere. So it doesn't matter, even if you're touching the floor, if you're rotating and trying to do with less effort, don't pull up, don't jump and go here. Usually when I start to teach this, the main mistake is the students just quite don't understand this movement on the floor. And what they do usually is here and asking me why I'm not rotating, what I'm doing wrong. Well, your leg didn't work actually. You have to swing from somewhere. You have to create rotation from somewhere. So if your leg is not working, the one that's drawing a circle around the pole, and let that leg pull you up, if it's not working enough, of course you will not be able to rotate. So switching sides, close, hands are low. Here I'm starting to lean to the side, sliding my hands and hooking right above. Super low invert, but that doesn't matter, okay? It looks much more better than just this, okay? So you have to make sure that you feel the gripping points. Today will be a lot about gripping points. Why I'm talking about this so much? Because lately I understood my students are kind of lazy with thinking. Not all of them, but some, I understand. And this is how I learn. I learned that I need to put more effort into explaining things, that when I actually mention the gripping points, you have to feel them. If you're not feeling the gripping points, you work hard to feel them. You try to listen to each technical detail to feel the gripping points in the paw. If you're not feeling the gripping points, there's no use of you to going afterwards in the next trick and the next trick, because the details do matter. If you skip the details at the very beginning, you will forget about them afterwards. And it will be difficult for you because your muscle memory has already learn to do it in a incorrect way. And when you're trying to relearn something to do in a correct way, it's twice as hard. So try to do right at first, even if it's harder, even if it seems impossible. Just try to learn from mistakes that I'm telling you that my students are doing, and try to listen carefully, try to focus and understand the gripping points. Really feel those gripping points. And here, your side and the leg is really important to actually be able to slide your arms down and hook the leg above your hands. It will be twice as easier. So we're doing boom, close, starting to draw a circle, looking at my foot, rotating, sliding, hooking, extending the other leg. So the next thing, when you hook the leg, this one goes pull away. If you keep this leg closed or here, I will lose the grip into my side for you to actually see what's happening here. So when the leg is closed and when I'm opening up my chest in the end, I feel that Paul is into my side. When you tuck the leg close or lift it up, I don't feel my side anymore. The pole went away from my side, so I lost one gripping point. And now I have to hold just with my knee. And it's twice as hard. My hands are weak. I'm sliding down. I feel like I'm dying. Oh no, I cannot do this. This is not for me. It's difficult. Okay? Just because you lost your gripping point. So you need those gripping points to actually feel safe. So it doesn't mean you have to hold very strong all the time. You just have to feel that you can help with your side. So when you hook the leg, the other leg goes right away, away, away. Open, open. So it feels like one leg is pulling down, the free leg that's straight, and your chest is pulling down. And at that point, you will feel your side and your knee will hold a lot better. Okay? So from here, starting with a closed knee, I'm starting with distance. I'm not here. I'm starting with the distance. Already leaning to the side, thinking about opening my chest, and already looking at my foot, drawing a circle. Look, 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 look. Boom, open. And this is how you can actually do the Gemini in a beautiful way on a static pole and make it look really cool. So, and don't bother for it to be low. The most important thing is that you can actually do it. It doesn't matter that you end up on the floor like I did. So, this is the technique what I'm doing on a static pole. And to be honest, for most of my students, the rotational pole is a lot more difficult than the rotational invert is a lot more difficult than the regular invert. Just because you're not used to it yet. But physically, it's easier. Physically, rotational invert causes you less trouble because you're just rotating, letting your hands slide. So actually, I'm not pulling myself up at this invert. So the techniques do change if you want to execute invert in a different way. So if you're still learning the regular invert, keep learning the regular invert. If you want your static invert to look more beautiful, try to do the rotational invert. Work on it. So usually it takes a couple of months for my girls to learn the invert, this rotational invert, to execute it and really feel like it's easy. It doesn't have to feel hard. It will start to feel easy when you have done it for a lot of repetitions and understood all the technique points which you need to think about while you're doing it. So look at the leg, open up your chest. Try to reach the parallel line a little bit more with open chest. Follow your leg. Your leg is drawing a circle around the paw. And when your leg comes close, you're just sliding your arms down with gripping the pole with your inside leg and your side. Hook, and the other leg goes away. Okay? One more time. Close. Looking at my leg. Squeezing. Boom. And yes, I'm low, but I did a nice invert. So the next thing, now I will put on this spinning mode, because an invert on a spinning mode can be very different from, it depends always, are you spinning back when you're doing invert, or are you spinning forward when you're doing the invert? So when we're spinning back, we can actually use this same technique what we did on a static pole. So if you're doing invert from the floor, you try to swing the leg because you need the pole to start to spin. If you're doing this invert on a spinning pole like this, it will not spin. And that's a big problem if you want your combination to spin. So that's why when you start your combination spinning back, you can use the same technique, but you can just go a little bit closer to the pole because you don't need so much momentum on a spinning pole because the pole is already spinning. You just need to do the exact same thing with the outside leg, okay? So, boom, and go up. So now your invert is spinning and you feel the grip in your side. You can try to let go your hands. Squeeze the pole with your armpit as well. So here, when you're going into a Gemini, you have to feel the 3 gripping points: knee, side, and armpit. The inside armpit squeezes into the pole just to make your Gemini more safer, okay? And we will need that armpit in our combinations today as well. So let's try to do this one more time on the other side. Don't take your hands too high, okay? And if you will bend your inside leg and feel the grip in your side, you can actually slide your hands lower. So to show you this, I will take my hands a little bit higher and try to look at them when I will slide them down because I will not pull myself up. I hope you saw that, okay? I was sliding my hands down, trying to feel the grip in my side. So one little tip, especially on a spinning pole, you need all the gripping points as you can get, as much as they are in each trick. That's first thing. The second thing which you need to do is to actually let go your hands. While you're holding with your hands in your Gemini position, you will not feel the grip in your side as much as you can. So you're still trying to struggle. You're still holding with your hands rigorously just to hold yourself. And the side is not helping you. So you're losing a gripping point, a great gripping point, and still getting your hands tired. So let's try to do this. When you hook the leg, try to let go your hands, but the other leg, remember, it goes away. Okay? So we're going here. Hook. Let go and squeeze, squeeze. You can connect your hands here to feel how much really the armpit is helping you. Okay? Great. So, when we're doing an invert on spinning pole, not back, but forward, what I'm doing, and I have seen a lot of polers do this as well, you're not starting your invert like this. You're leaning to the side and squeezing yourself really close to the pole. So before you start to do invert to the, you have to be able to hold yourself like this. Like you're going into a diagonal position and holding yourself close to the pole. Okay? And then you can bend the inside hand. But here you actually have to pull up. You have to be able to pull up in this invert. So you go boom, bend one or the other leg, and you're doing your chopper on a spinning pole through your front. Okay? How to know if your invert is quite correct? If you can hold your chopper for a while. If your chopper is not holding, your invert is not quite there yet. You have to be able to open your legs in a straddle and feel that you're in your shoulders holding and feeling the pole right above your hip bone. Okay, not on your ribs, between your ribs and your hip bone. You have a space where to put the pole, a safe space, because there are muscles there, not your bones. You never want to put the pole on your bone, okay? Not ribs, not ribs, because ribs are easy to break. Not to get to scare you. I'm not trying to scare you, okay? I'm trying to be real. So, what I'm doing here with my legs as well. So you started your inward with this kind of position, more or less, leaning to the side, squeezing, pulling yourself close to the pole, and still keeping those biceps muscles active. So you have to keep this position when you lean to the side, close to the pole, here, okay? And I'm opening my outside leg like this because it's easier than to do this, because I'm afraid to lose my position. And it's definitely easier than to do with straight legs right away. So this movement with the leg, what we do in exotic dance a lot also, really helps you not only to make your invert on spin when you're spinning forward look beautiful, but it helps you to actually do the movement. So you're keeping yourself strong in the biceps muscle, and you're open, bend, knee, and only when the knee is open, you lean back, extend. And here is your chopper, okay? You can also do this with both bent legs, but you're still doing the same exact movement with the outside leg. So if you're, for example, doing the invert from higher position, not from the floor, from the air, you'll probably feel safer with your knees bent because it will feel physically easier. So you go here, extend, and with this momentum of the leg, you will go into your chopper. So it's a little detail, but it can actually help, okay? So let's try. We're going here. Boom. And Gemini. Great. So you have a lot of variations today how to do your invert on spin or on static pole. If you choose to do the combinations on a static pole, you will do the rotational invert or the regular kind of invert we just taught in the start of the class. If you want to do this on spinning pole, you can turn back with the swing of your leg, or if you want to spin, you have to make a step and swing if you're doing this forward, okay? To make the pole actually spin. Step, tuck, open, and release. If you're doing from back, you're doing boom, here, hook, put it into your armpit, release. So, spinning fast. So I'm sure there are a lot of techniques how to achieve your inverts. I'm just showing you the techniques I'm teaching my students, techniques I'm doing myself to make my flow on the spinning or on a static pole look better, look more, to kind of wrap my gift better, okay? So you're wrapping your gift with the execution of the invert. So try to execute, choose whichever variation you want in the further combinations. I will switch from one to next so you can see how it looks and how it feels, etc. And while I'm talking, I will put dew point on my legs because my skin on my legs is so dry that I actually cannot do anything without the dew point anymore. So our first combination will have 2 parts. And if you're advanced enough that you can execute first and second part and feel alive and well in them, you will be able to connect them, the combination. So we will do the Gemini, what we just did or tried to do. Then we will switch to Scorpio. That's the first part, what we need to be able to do before we go any further, okay? And I will start with that, and then I will lead you forward into the combination that I have planned for you first. I just need to clean the pole a little bit. So, while I'm cleaning the pole, when you go into your Gemini, the outside leg hook, you need to be able to feel the side and the leg and the armpit, okay? 3 gripping points, really important 3 gripping points. And when you're switching to Scorpio to inside leg hang, you have to keep all of those gripping points, but just switching the leg. So at that switching moment, you're squeezing the pole with your armpit, feeling the pole in your side, keep that squeeze, and switch your legs really fast and safe, okay, without hands, because I like to teach my students to keep the gripping points. If you're coming up and gripping the pole with your hands and then switching your legs, usually you lose the side. And when you lose the side, you will not be able to feel the side maybe as good as you could in your Scorpio position, where the side is really crucial because otherwise your leg will hurt as hell. So let's try to do now the regular invert on the static. I will not spin the pole so you can see. So we go here, chopper, hook, and Gemini. From here, I'm just keeping this position. Tuck. Now I feel the pole between my thighs. You need to feel the pole between your thighs. And switch. Here, and you see the leg went away right away, and I'm still down low. I'm still down low with my chest. That's how you can switch to your Scorpio. No matter the static or spinning pole, it's safe because you still have 2 gripping points, 3 gripping points, because the pole goes in between your thighs right before you switch the legs. So try to keep those gripping points. If you don't feel them, try them. Film yourself. If it's still not working, send me video afterwards. I will try to help you to understand where is your mistake. I am happy to help. So don't feel like I will not bother her. I will not send her video, although I don't understand the half of the lesson. So do bother me, okay? I provide feedback. I would love to answer to your questions. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. That's my task. That's why I'm a coach. That's why I like to teach, because I like to answer questions. So now, sorry for me screaming. We will try to do this on a spinning pole, spinning back, okay? So make sure you do not spin your pole too fast, okay, not to lose control. So I'm going boom, squeezing the armpit, squeezing the pole between my thighs, still squeezing the armpit, switching legs. Great. Now I'm going to do spinning to the front. So you can see whichever variation you choose, it's working, okay? It's not difficult. It doesn't change anything in your combination. And to the front. Hook, squeeze, squeeze between your thighs, and change. Just trust your body, trust your legs. Okay. That's the first thing you need to be able to do before you go further in our combination. Now, the next thing, I would like to give you one split. Before we go into Scorpio, we will go to Gemini, and after Gemini, we'll do a split, and then we will go into Scorpio. Okay, so if you can do all what I did just before, you're able to go further. So doing invert, you're hooking the paw with the outside hand, and right now you will not let go your hands. Okay, you will keep here, but this leg is away. Now the lower hand, the inside hand, goes underneath your inside leg. So you're pulling your leg close, it goes underneath, and you're grabbing your hand here. Okay, you're grabbing your hand and pushing away. And here's your split. So here you will have tons of grip in your leg when you let yourself like actually go into a split, like go in a little bit more diagonal position. You will feel the grip in your thigh firstly, and of course you have to hold strong here in your hand. Okay, so not spinning the pole. I will show you how you can do this on static with the jump or without the jump. It depends on you, but remember the technique. Boom, boom, push it away. Now boom, grab, release, and open chest is really crucial for you to feel the grip into your side. Afterwards, the outside leg just comes closer. You lean back, let your hand slide to hook the outside leg back again. And you have the grip between your thighs and your side and in your armpit afterwards. Yes. So to do this trick, you do not have to be able to do a complete split. My students who still don't have a split can do this trick. All you need to do is to hold strong with the outside hand and hold strong in your inside, with your inside hand into your hand somewhere here, okay? So my hand is really big here. I cannot wrap around it, but if you are tiny arms, you can wrap around your arm and hold really strong, okay? That is important. So let's try to connect this on a spinning pole. I will spin forward because it feels a little bit easier to go into your Gemini when you're spinning forward. But it always depends on a lot of things. Which invert is easier for you, that one you will do, okay? So you can spin back and forth or whatever is better for you. So I will try not to spin my pole too fast, okay? So we're going here, opening up, Gemini, the lower hand, boom, I feel the grip into my side and my thigh, grab the leg, push it down, and now the paw went right above my hip bone into my thigh. And when I want to go back, I just let my upper arm slide, tilt back to hook the leg back right above your hand. So your hand does not get stuck. It's so dark outside. Feels like it's going to rain. So, but I see the video is quite all right. Hopefully. Yeah. Sorry. I just put it a little bit further away because I'm afraid to go out of camera. Great. So you can, now this is the first part of our combination. Next part, we will learn how to go from Gemini to butterfly and from butterfly to your Scorpio. It's kind of basic. You all have seen this combination, but I wanted to break it down. So, and afterwards, when you're finished with all of this, and you can do both parts, the split, the Gemini, the butterfly, the Scorpio, you can connect them, and I will show you how to make your combination a little bit longer, okay? So, when we go into Gemini, we will have to regrip the lower arm. The upper will stay as it is. The lower arm into this grip, here. Using your pointing finger as a stabilizer for your wrist joint. Important detail, okay? Then you will turn your head and torso right in front of the paw. So you kind of will shift from side to up. So that is mostly usually the hardest part for people to do because they don't understand it. When you're gripping the hand, you're still on the side. So you have to go head down, leg up. And when the leg is already going up, the leg has to go away. It has to push back. Otherwise, all your weight will go right above your head, right above your hand, and you feel it's really hard to hold. But if your leg pushes back, you kind of balancing the weight out, and the butterfly trick feels tons easier after this, okay? So with not spinning paw, just go into your regular invert if you like, hook the outside leg and re-grip the lower leg into the grip I just showed you, okay? Ba, ba, okay? Re-gripping, see, I'm on my side. Now my head has to move down right in front of the paw and the leg goes up. And I have to push it back as much as I can. And then go back to the side and get the grip back into my knee. Come up a little bit. Okay, you're coming up a little bit. Squeezing the paw with your thigh and with your side. And then you're changing the legs into your Scorpio. And then you can move slowly down to feel all your gripping points. Okay? So when I will show you a little bit closer here, if it's possible. So when you're here, okay, you regrip the lower arm and you went in front of the paw. Here, it's important to push this leg away. And as you can see, if you can see, my shoulder moves in front of the paw. I'll push this a little bit further away so you can see it closer because it matters. The butterfly feels a hard trick just because you don't understand how to balance the weight out and not to hold just with your hands. And your knee grip, the Gemini knee, the outside knee, will move to here. So point your toe so you can feel that you're gripping with this part of your foot. And when you're going back, you want to get back in that knee, in the same position you were before. So you're moving from position A to position B and back to position A. So that is what we need to understand. When you hook here, boom. See, I'm pushing back. Now you grabbed the lower hand, moved here, pushing back. Now you're going back into your knee. Come up a little bit. Boom, squeeze the paw with your side of your leg. Look up to change the legs. Now this is your flat line Scorpio, and from that, keep pushing the leg down. You are going down and you're feeling all the gripping points you need to feel. And the next thing about Scorpio, okay? When you're going into your Scorpio, what you really, really, really want to do is to bend that leg as much as you can. Okay, so this is not a safe Scorpio leg. This is safe Scorpio leg. So right when you're turning into the paw and squeezing, you have to bend that leg a little bit more to make your Scorpio feel safe. So, yes. And let's try to connect, okay? On static or on a spinning pole, everything is the same. The technique doesn't change. I suggest you to do this on a spinning pole when you actually can do this on a static pole and you feel safe while doing it because you feel that you can hold, you feel your gripping points, you understand technique, okay? So I will spin the pole a little bit, So we're going ba, ba, regrip, face down, leg up, leg back. Going back, gripping the pole with my knee coming up, squeezing, changing legs. As you can see, I bent it as much as I could possibly. Going down into your Scorpio. In our ending position, you're staying where the grip is. This leg goes behind, and your pole will start to spin faster, and you can connect your hands here into this beautiful pose. Boom. And when you want to go out, you place this grip. The upper hand goes up in normal grip. The lower one goes with this pointing finger facing down. Squeeze the pole with your tummy and with your legs. And here is your ending pose. And you come up, come down, and exit your trick in a controlled way. And again, in the last trick, I was squeezing the pole with my tummy and with my thighs. Okay? So, and if you're able to do each of these variations separately, we can try to connect Gemini, outside leg. Do the split. Or if it's difficult for you to do split, just skip the split and move to butterfly, afterwards to Scorpio, afterwards to the spinning beautiful pose and going out safely out of the trick while doing another trick. You know, the ending is also very important. So I will do it with the split just for you to see. I'll spin forward at first. So going boom, opening up, holding my chopper, hook, count 1, 2, 3, grip, going down, hold the trick, 1, 2, 3. Sorry, skip the split. I will do the split now. And hold the split, 1, 2, 3. Scorpio, legs behind, hold the pose, grab the pole, squeeze, and exit. So I tried to spin my pole really slow, but it stopped at some point. So that is our first combination. I will now show it while spinning backward. Okay. And spinning backwards, yes. And I will do the split right after Gemini. Right now I mix it up. But as you can see, you can mix things up the way you want, where you want it and how you want them. When you feel each trick separately and you feel strong in them, you can mix your combinations up just the way you want. So spinning back, the same combo. Boom, ba, hook, regrip, butterfly. Again, I did the same mistake. Sorry. Now, I will start over. Don't know why. I want to do butterfly first. So, one more time. Spinning back, hook, split, hook, butterfly. Knee goes back first. Look up, switch to Scorpio, spin, back to Scorpio, grab the pole, squeeze the pole with your tummy and with your legs. You can let go the upper hand if you feel secure in your squeezing and come down. Whew. So that is our first combination, upside down. Everything was upside down. And it feels intermediate level if you want to do all of it together. But if you separate and do like we did before, we did Gemini, like switch to Scorpio, that's kind of things the beginners that are already learning to do their inverts and learning some harder tricks are doing actually. And Gemini split, okay, that's a challenge, but that's a beautiful pose, which you probably would like to learn, maybe. And butterfly is a trick that every beginner wants to learn, at least from my experience. When you see pictures of butterfly, you're like, oh, I want to do this trick. Is it difficult? And that's why I gave you butterfly today. And a beautiful way how to exit from your Scorpio, which you can use whenever and however you please, with a lot of grip if you really squeeze the pole between your thighs and in your tummy. Okay, the next combination will be interesting. It will be more intermediate than beginner, but some of it you can use. I took this combo because some of my online students were asking if I will teach this combo today. And I didn't plan to teach it, but since there were a lot of questions about it, I'm like, okay, I think I can try to teach it. So we're going to do the trick that's called the meat hook. And it's a variation of this trick. It's quite safe when you understand how much grip you actually can have from this trick. To do this trick, you need to be able to do an invert and outside like hook, which you already know how to do. Now, I'm going to show you the trick and then I'm going to explain, okay? So that was the meat hook variation. So you're going into a Gemini position and you're actually the most important thing is going to be the leg that goes behind. So you have to feel secure in Gemini. I'm going to show you this closer on this paw just to make sure that you're seeing what I'm doing over here with my hand. So when you move into your Gemini here, this hand goes here behind and I bend the leg, the upper hand is still holding, and I go to the side. This is the meat hook, okay? So you're feeling the grip here and in your tummy. And of course, you're squeezing your legs close to feel that you're actually holding really well in that position. And I open just legs, and the upper leg comes the most important leg afterwards when I open them up. So the variation that I will teach you today is that you don't stay in tucked position, you just stay open up a little bit here, okay? So let's try this. We go outside leg, put this hand, this up hand still stays, okay? Squeeze the pole, lean towards the pole, and see, I have the grip, all grip I need here in my stomach, in the upper leg that is squeezing to the pole because I bent it. And of course, this hand that goes behind. And when you feel safe, you can just release the upper hand. And if you're quite flexible, you can grab the lower leg like I did, if you can. But that is not the main thing. The main goal is to actually do the meat hook and to feel safe in that trick. So you will need a grip in your side and you will need the grip here, okay? So if you don't have a top like I do, probably you have a lack of grip, so I suggest you to take your clothes off. Jump on the pole naked if you're alone at home. Then you can actually do that. because you don't carry your alone home. So, okay. So I will turn back, spin back, and I will try to do the meat hook. And when you're trying to grip the leg, I'm just letting go my hand first, looking up, and trying to lean a little bit more to the side while still I am holding and squeezing the paw with the upper leg that is bent and with my tummy that is really, really close to the paw. And of course, this hand that goes behind is your protection hand because you will feel the paw, it actually goes here inside and it catches the grip all over. That's why it's called the meat hook, I think, because it feels like the meat is wrapped around something. So that is how you should feel in this one, okay? So open up your chest here. Feel the armpit first. Put the hand behind. Put the leg. Shift to the side. Squeeze the upper leg into the paw. And if you can, you reach. If no, you can stay here. How to go out of this trick? You grab the paw, go back in the same manner, and boom. Okay? So it's quite easy to go to Scorpio after this. You just need to maintain that grip, grab the paw, look up, and hook the inside leg back on the paw. So that is the first trick. The next trick we're going to do from Gemini. So there are variations how you can do combinations with inverts. You can do the easiest way to do invert in the beginning of your combo because you still have strength for it, especially if you're doing the combo on spin pull. The harder variation is to do the invert in the middle, or even start with the invert and do another invert in the middle. And the hardest combinations are the ones where you have to do an invert in the end of the combination. So I try to plan all combos today when you're doing invert at the start of your combo, just to make it a little bit easier for you guys, because I'm not sure how strong you are, which level you are. I know this is a beginner package, but this class has no expiration date, so you can look at it, watch it, and complete your combos over the time and start with just one trick or one little detail or one simple invert, and then you just can add things up. So my task is to give you information to work with so you get what you paid for. Hopefully, I will do that well. So the next thing in our combo is when you do the invert and you actually have to pull yourself up from an invert. So when you're hooking the outside leg, okay, you always have to pull out the upper hand, the outside hand, and place it right above your knee. And only then the other hand goes above. Okay, in some situations it can go lower, but we will need it to go up. Okay. What's worse, if you're pulling out the lower hand at first, your knee will probably slide onto your hand. That's the reason why we are pulling out the upper hand first, just for to make it a little bit simpler for us afterwards. So we do not kind of squeeze our hand underneath our knee. And afterwards, on a spin, when the pole is spinning fast, it can get really complicated afterwards. So we're doing an invert, and we're going to pull up. After that, we will regrip just the upper hand, and the other one will stay lower. And we'll just extend our legs, make a straddle position on a spin while still holding with our hands and pushing our legs into the pole. And we will move to a genie position, okay? So how it will look. So you're doing boom here, Gemini. Now regrip the upper hand above. Put the other leg in front of the paw. Let the other, right where your knee joint is, there is the paw where it goes. And just extend. And from here, both legs bend and you're going into a genie position. Now, in our case, we really need that lower knee to get into the pole. So one more time, I will show you this from a closer view so you can see what I'm actually doing there, how I am securing the lower knee. Usually the common mistake is that you're only holding with the upper knee, but we need the lower knee as well to make our genie safe and balanced, okay? So you're not just holding with one knee, you're holding with both knees. So when you're going into your invert, here, boom, put the leg in front. As you can see, the knee is right where the pole is. Here, extend. And when you're bending them, you see I'm bending firstly the upper knee, and then when I'm bending the lower, I need to slide down a little bit to bend. So I'm sliding down to my vagina line, okay, to bend the lower knee to secure the grip. Because otherwise, see what is happening here? I don't feel that it's holding because it's not deep enough. It's not holding me. But if you slide and grip, it actually goes deeper. And when the knee is deep into the pole, your calf muscle helps you to hold. And when your calf muscle, this muscle, okay, helps you to hold, it's an exactly great gripping point that will let you release the upper arm and hold your genie position in a safe way, in a safe, secure way. So let's try to do this on a spinning pole once more. You can do this on a static pole, okay? If this feels not secure, you can do this combo on static pole. Just to make it more interesting for those of you who really want to do some spinning pole combos more than static, that's why I'm doing a spinning, so you can see how it looks, where to start. You can do this spinning to the front as well, what I will show you also here. Now I'm spinning to the front, opening, hook, grip, push a little bit away from the lower arm to put the leg in front, open, back is straight, chest is open. Bend the upper one, slide a little bit down, bend the lower one, release the upper hand, and you're having a nice genie position here. Okay, you can just hold the upper arm if you want. But my knees are facing each other. Feet are facing each other. And I have really wide angle between my legs, just to make sure that well, it looks better, but my knees are holding better in this wide angle. And probably so will yours. So that's why we do the straddle before as a position and as a trick as well, but just to secure that pose. So, and if you can do this, and if you can do the meat hook trick, how can we actually connect this combo? We will do the meat hook first because it's more difficult, okay? And after meat hook, you will move to Scorpio. After Scorpio, you will squeeze the armpit into the pole and feel your side by pushing the other leg down and change the legs into your Gemini. So you don't need to do another invert or climb or change. What makes combinations fluent is that you're changing from a trick to a trick. So you're not creating another entry to that trick. You're already exit the trick in the way that it may help you to get easier into your next trick. And that what makes fluency happen. Fluency, I didn't say it right. That's what makes your combinations fluent, okay? So let's try to connect. I will spin forward. I will do the meat hook. I will hook the inside leg into Scorpio. I will spin and count to 3 in Scorpio. Each position you need to hold, so do not rush. Do as long or short combos as you need, but do not rush them. Each trick is everything. What you do on the spin pole is a trick. Climb is a trick. Invert is a trick. Everything is a trick. So you want to put effort to make it look good. So, okay, you're performing. So imagine you're performing. You have to hold each position for at least 3 to 5 seconds. Okay, so let's start. I'm spinning forward. Great. Hooked. Squeeze my armpit first. Leg moving to the side. Sorry. Hand went behind. Didn't do that quite well. In this trick in meat hook, I actually feel that it's easier to spin back. You can try both, but for me, it felt easier to spin back. So I will spin back now. So we hook the outside leg, open chest, squeeze the armpit, put the hand behind, meat hook, grab the pole, hook up, go into Scorpio. Switch to Gemini, push, leg in front, extend, both legs bend, slide down into your vaginal line to secure the lower knee, and genie. And from here, you can grab the pole and exit. Okay? So that's our second combo, which is kind of nice. I know the meat hook trick doesn't seem very easy. And it's also more intermediate move. Meat hook, I was teaching it to my intermediate group. And at first, it caused a lot of trouble to my students. They needed not just for me to spot them, but they needed more, I think, to understand how can I actually engage those gripping points. So to engage the gripping points, it doesn't mean you have to lose your previous gripping points, okay? You have to feel and hold with your body as strong as you possibly can. So when you hook the outside leg, when you squeeze that armpit first, then you just put the hand behind. So you kind of got that first gripping point and add to it by squeezing the hand behind. And then you're just moving to the side, still close to the pole, okay? And squeezing, pushing the other leg into the pole as well. So you have tons of grip there, tons of grip. And then you can see if you can actually let go the hand. Meat hook will be complete and it will feel complete when you let go the upper hand. So if you feel the grip, if you have a mat underneath, just in case, always, okay, you can try to release the upper hand as well because it helps. And if you're flexible in your shoulders and in your leg, you can try to reach that leg and make your trick a little bit more interesting if you like. So I will do this combo one more time. One thing what I wanted to give you guys today is a seahorse trick. To be honest, this trick is not for everyone. This trick is for those who really feel secure in their genie position in the lower knee, first of all. This trick is for those people who can arch their lower back and hold it. Like, you don't have to be super flexible to do the seahorse. All you need to be able to kind of be able to bend your lower back and keep your shoulders open. So I'm going to show the seahorse trick from this point of view, from being close. So you can see that my lower knee actually is super important here. So I will go into my genie from an invert like this. I will grab one hand right above, the other one stays low. And here, the upper leg will go here into the other side of the pole. And I have to turn my butt against the pole. And as you can see, I'm still bending, still arching my lower back to keep that grip into my butt. And afterwards, I put my hands like this. So it looks like a Russian layback trick, just with head up. And of course, you have to be able to point your toes. So it's not like you're holding with your feet, because you have to be able to create a little bit of butt hold here. And to create it when you're transitioning from the side to turning your butt to the pole, you have to keep this position. Arch open. You have to keep this position and regrip the arms. Okay? So let's try to do this with an invert. Secure that lower leg. Okay? Now, boom, arch, arch, arch. Okay? That's the seahorse. You have to be able to maintain that arch in your lower back. That's the whole secret. The lower knee and the arch. And I know how many people are struggling with the seahorse. My students are struggling with this trick. Especially when recently we had a photo shoot, and one of the girls just asked me, how do I get into this trick? I'm like, I cannot teach you that in a few minutes right before you go into your photo shoot, because it's difficult. And she's like, do I have to go there from lay back? I'm like, no, you have to do the genie. And when she heard genie, oh no, then I won't be able to do this. Just because the trick before is the genie trick, okay? And that's how you move into another trick. So that's why genie is a basic trick, but the girl was already an intermediate level, and the genie caused her trouble. So it can happen to anyone if you kind of skip through the basic tricks. That's why what I wanted to do today, to make you understand, you don't have to rush and do all the combinations what I've just shown. Just because there are so many different levels of you out there, I want to provide information for all of you and trying to be as productive as I can possibly be in 90 minutes. And it's quite difficult. It's a little bit difficult for me as well, but you can do separately each trick. Just if you want to condition your inverts, you try to do those tricks from inverts. Doesn't matter how horrible your invert feels, how hard it is at first, just keep doing it. Just try to maintain the technique details. Try to work on your execution, okay? And you do this separately. You do seeker separately, you do the previous combination separately, just the meat hook, and then you come out from it safely. If you can, you move into your straddle position, okay? If you can, you do more. If no, you just split parts of each combination, okay? So let's try now to connect. I will try to connect all the last combo, the meat hook and the seahorse, okay? And although I wanted to give you more combos today, like one more at least, I'm already out of time. I hope it will be okay. So I will show you after this one more split what you can involve, which is kind of easy. If you know it, that's okay. If not, you can do this trick actually whenever you want. It's happening from an invert, but I will show you after I complete all of this combination. Okay, you need a good grip in your knees. If you're super strong, you can do a climb and an invert, but this class is not about being strong. This class is about trying to achieve great execution. Okay, so I will start with the invert back, do the meat hook. Then I will move into scorpion, switch my legs to an outside leg hook into Gemini. Then I will push off from my lower hand so I can regrip the upper hand up. Then I will go into straddle position, slide, bend the upper knee, slide down to my vagina line, and then only bend the lower knee. And afterwards, I will move into a seahorse position. There's one thing which you can do in your seahorse. If you cannot hold yourself in this position, what I will show you now, you go into your genie, you're moving this leg right above. What I will do, I will move into my seahorse and I will hook hook, I will leave the upper arm straight. Yeah. So I will move into my seahorse, spin a little bit while still I have the grip in my side, and I will go into my elbow. And I will end my combo like this. So if you're not able to hold in your seahorse, that's quite all right because you can transition from it in a very beautiful way. So, and I wanted to show you this today. So I will show you how I will transition first. So you see, so you're in your genie, okay? You will go here, and then you will move into your armpit and exit the trick by holding in your elbow. Sorry, not in your armpit, in your elbow. And when you're holding with your elbow, you have to let yourself slide down so the elbow goes up, like in an angle in your elbow. It will hurt more, but it will feel more secure. You can hold the elbow here to make it secure, or you can put the other hand down to make it easier to hold this nice position in the end of your combination. So let's try to do this. So, meat hook, okay? Armpit first. Grab my leg if I can. Okay. Grab the paw, look up. Okay. Switch the legs. Come up. In front. Sorry, I will go a little bit higher to do this. Here. Extend. Bend. Leg goes in front. Still a nice pose, isn't it? And boom, moving into my elbow and exiting in a nice way. Whew. So, as you can see, I was a little bit low down in this trick. I will try to do this a little bit higher. Would not climb, but just try to do my invert a little bit higher. And I will try to spin forward this time. Okay? And then I will show you one last nice split, what you can do and add into your combinations, and then we will end this workout. Whew. So, outside leg, and meat hook. Reach if you can. Grab the paw, look up. Back to your Scorpio. Squeeze the armpit. Feel the grip in your thighs, and only then you change your legs. Move to the front. Push. Extend. Slide down a little bit. Secure that lower knee. Move to the front. Pose. Sorry. I will do this one more time. A pose, stop spinning. This is a nice pole. Some of you girls like this pole because it doesn't spin fast and stops spinning really fast. So, one more time. Secure the armpit, hand behind. Meat hook. Grab the pole, look up. Great. Squeeze the pole with your thighs, switch legs. Come up. Boom, extend. Go down, secure the lower knee. Pose. And go into your elbow if you can. And let go. Great. Great. I really hope you enjoyed this combo. Variations of this combo are most probably my favorite kind because they don't need a lot of flexibility. They need a great technique and to be able to hold and feel those gripping points. And the last trick here from upside down class will be, yeah, I'll put on my power bank. Battery is running low, fortunately. So last trick is going to be just a split. Simple split to achieve. When you will hook the outside leg again from an invert, whichever invert you like, static, rotation, static, basic, spinning forward or spinning back, you will regrip the lower hand into this grip. And you will extend the upper leg and you will try to hold your split. And your upper leg will push into the pop. So let's see how it works, okay? So you hook, regrip the lower leg in your claw grip and extend. Hook back if you want. After here, you can change into your Scorpio, grab, and exit like we did before in our combos. So you have tons of variations today how to create your level combination by just choosing a trick which you can achieve, put it together with a beautiful invert, and try to exit in a beautiful manner. And remember, the most important thing is not what tricks you're doing, but how you are doing them. So quality over quantity, always, always. So try to take sometimes things better slower than faster to create your combinations look clean and easy. And if they will feel clean and easy for you, they will be nice to watch for others as well. So remember to cool down after this workout. I really hope you enjoyed this class. Remember, I love to answer your questions. If you have any questions about anything in this class or about any kind of different class that you have taken from me and it's difficulty for you to achieve, just ask. Send me videos. Doesn't matter that you do this workout after a month, okay? Just send me videos. It's never too late to ask a question if something is bothering you or something causes you difficulties. So I hope you enjoyed this workout and I'd love to hear feedback from you guys and have a wonderful day.